Kristin, given you're a Texas resident now, you'd always keep your eye on the border. How much is border control going to be an election issue? It's been an election issue, as you know, in Australia, election after election, when we had our issues with illegal boat entries. It seems to me from a distance that the US border is just leaking as bad as it ever has. Who's tougher on border control? Trump, DeSantis, Biden? Who?
Well, I suspect DeSantis would be the toughest on border control. Of course, Trump would be much better than Biden. But a lot of this comes down to the media, because now that there's a Democrat in office, nobody here in the media wants to talk about the border. Just look the other way. There's nothing going on down there. But us in Texas, we know exactly what's going on the border. It is out of control, especially since Title 42 was dropped, which was one way that, border agents were able to kind of keep control down there by not letting some of them in due to COVID concerns. That's gone now. So it's basically a wide open border. People are let in. They're given this court date way in the future. And of course, very few of them actually show up to court. This is having profound impacts on Texas City, Steve. I live in Houston. It is not a border city, and yet still our schools are overflooded with non-English speaking students. The hospitals, forget about it. If you need to go to the ER, you are in for an hours-long wait. There is a ton of crime. Drugs are all over the place. It is noticeably worse over the last decade. It's just going to get even more worse. Projections are that as many as 3.6 million illegal immigrants could come over our border this year. I mean, for reference for your viewers, Houston, where I live, we only have like 2.4 million residents. This is like importing large new U.S. cities into the country every single year. You cannot do that for years and years and years with no consequences. Eventually, the whole house of cards collapses.
Kristin Tate, always a pleasure to catch up with you. Thanks a lot. Have a good night.
Thank you very much, Steve.